Okay, so on my driving test they may bring me to a car park and they may ask me to drive forward into a parking space. Now when I look at this bit here, this road alleyway, I'm going to push my car completely over to the right hand side if I want to park on the left, and if I want to park on the right I'll go over to the left hand side. The bigger the car you've got, the more room you're going to need to do it. You could do it just about from the middle, but you'll end up really having to steer back really fast to get the car straight before you stop before that middle line that runs between the two boxes there, because if you cross that line on your test, it's all over. There is no reversing back because technically you've bumped into a car. All right, they're not going to challenge you to do it between cars because they don't know how well you're going to do something, but just use the size of the car park's road, lane, alleyway, whatever you want to call it, to your advantage. The smaller the car, the easier it will be to do it from the middle. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is just check to make sure it's safe to move off. I'm going to move all the way over to the right in the first place without going into that box just there. Just trying to get my car at the front as close as I can. Now if I steer left slightly, to look in the mirror there and I can see that it's pretty close, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm just looking to get into the next box just here. Now I don't want this box right here, I want the one beside it. So I'm trying to see that first white line, and I'm trying to imagine that if it was drawn right the way across here at the moment, it would be kind of just behind my mirror. Now I think the two are kind of in line, and it's almost in line with my foot, which I'm quite happy with. Or some people say they see it going across towards the steering wheel. Whatever works for you, but that's kind of angle that I'm looking for. My mirror, if I looked at it properly, would kind of be halfway through the two boxes. You work out how you see it. This is how I've prepared the car. Going to check all around to make sure it's safe to do so. Going to indicate left, and all I'm going to do is release the brake a little bit. Once the car moves, I'm going to steer all the way round to the left, and it will depend on how fast or how slow I steer at this point. All right, something that you've got to work on. So final check again, releasing the brake, starting to steer round to the left. Now I've got a good view of the line on the left, but as I come to this point I have no view now apart from the two lines in front of me. So I'm just trying to work out when I think that my car is between those lines, and I feel that that's a pretty good spot. So I've steered back to a straight wheel at this point. Now I've got the little bump in my bonnet, I don't know if you can see that, but if I imagine myself stood there, I'd say that's kind of right in the middle of that box. That's a pretty good view. So all I'm going to do is creep forward until the line that goes between the boxes over there just appears underneath that mirror case. Just something like that. I've got about a finger's width between the mirror case and that line. For me, that's a pretty good position. I'm quite happy with that. First thing I'm going to do is apply my brake and then just open my door to check so I can see the white line. So I'm pretty happy with that. At that point there, I'd hit the park button and then wait for the examiner to say thanks very much, reverse out. They might open their door. If I'm not in the right position, I'd need to know how to fix it. If they said reverse out, I'd go straight into reverse. Again, check all around me to make sure it was safe to reverse. Just start to reverse out, and what I'm looking for is nice straight wheels at this point until I see this pillar or that pillar line up with the white line at the end of the box, just there, just creeping out of the corner there, just here as well, before I started to steer. If I steered beforehand, in reality I would have smashed into one of those two cars either side of me. As I'm coming out, I'm checking all around to make sure that it's safe to come out. I can't just rely on that camera, and I can't just rely on that mirror. I need to be looking all the way around. Once I feel that I'm close enough, I'm going to stick it back into drive, and again very slowly with the car but very quick with the steer, pull it round to a straight wheel. Once I realise I've straightened up, just straighten my wheels and off I go.